Whew. What's going on, guys? It's a surprisingly really nice day in November out here at the Time Out Bar and Grill in Sqaureback. It's a, you know, if it was really warm out, I could see this being like a place to stop for a drink or a quick bite to eat. The deal is my heated grips seem to keep coming on by themselves. Sqaureback, it's a small little quiet town. Used to be a lot of coal mining around here. I know they built a new power plant maybe five years ago, 6. But now we're just, out here in southern Illinois. It's generally quiet, just people mind their own business. Not like the damn city. Yeah, so if you're ever looking for a good ride, hit Route 4. Route 4 goes pretty far. And right now, let's see, I gotta go see a movie with my family later. Else I might go a little further. I gotta work my way back home now. But yeah, we're about 30 miles outside of Belleville. But yeah, going out of Muscoota, Illinois, coming up here. If you're going out of Muscoota towards Sparta, you hang a left on 13, and there's a really good place called Pistol City. It was the old coal mine things. It's kind of too busy to film in. I've learned that, people get kind of, you get two kinds of people when you're filming, all right? You either got people that don't want nothing to do with it, or in the other half, they're camera whores. And just in my experiences, I just, if I was going to film inside a restaurant, I'd rather just go there right when they open, or if they're dead, or just sit in my corner, because I would love to show like some of the stuff that these places have. But I never really talked to the owners and stuff. Just kind of just a screwball idea about doing moto vlogging and riding, showing these places I like going to. Like I said, it's been a fairly decent day today, weather-wise. I didn't have to wear my bibs, and I'm not wearing my heated gloves or my winter gloves. So. Oh boy, I gotta wake up. Like I said, yep, just cruising on the Challenger. Been watching a lot of videos with people with sport bikes, and I mean, each their own. I really think people should give these baggers, like if you give a bagger a chance and stuff, yeah, it's not going to go 160, but other than a racetrack or on the interstate, where are you really going to go 160, and why do you need to go 160? I know, I like showing off as much as the next guy, but no, just, to me, this is where it's at. Just a nice county road. Nice highway, beautiful scenery. Yep, got the power plant over there. Now, I did notice something when I was starting the Challenger today, every time I park it in the garage, I always put it on a trickle charger. And you know, it's about 10 degrees warmer than what it was yesterday, and I ran it pretty long time yesterday, but I just don't understand why it has trouble for being a fuel injected bike. I guess they must lean the crap out of these things at the factory, because it didn't want to start. It didn't want to start for me. I mean, I hit the starter once. I mean, it was just a real slow crank, and like the battery was almost dead. But damn, I mean, I've always put it on a trickle charger. And come to think of it, my Victory, my cross country, it had the 106 in it. That was the same thing. Like, it was real cold natured out of the, you know, without a tune. So the more this bike keeps doing stuff like that, I really think it just needs to run a little richer, and it'd probably solve a lot of the problems. And that's kind of the dilemma with the Challengers, is that, you know, you can send your ECU off to Lloyd's or Dynajet and they'll flash it for you, but that'll just be like a general tune, you know. And so, I mean, you can do that, or you can spin a power command, or go get a power commander and have a tune, but all they're really doing is just changing the air fuel ratio. There's only so many parameters that they can mess with because of these new Bosch ECUs, and the Milwaukee 8s, the new ones, they got the same problem. So I mean, you could send it off, get a flash, and it's supposed to run a lot better. But if you really want, I would assume, I'm not a tuner by any stretch of imagination, but I would guess that you would have to go have the ECU cracked, and then send off for a Power Commander 5. So you're spending like an extra $300 to $400 just on the programmer alone, and then you gotta take it someplace to get the son of a bitch dyno tuned. That's to say, for the most part, I mean, this bike, it does everything I want it to do, and so much more. And I do have performance, and I do, you know, it's not like it's an old muscle car where I just have straight line performance. It can carve corners within reason, you know. As long as you treat the bike right, it'll be okay. Because she'll do that from time to time. She'll give me if I'm getting a little too screwy on it, she'll give me a little nudge saying she don't like that, and then I back off, because you're supposed to listen to her. Oh, I had to keep up with traffic. I've been relatively happy with my my Freedom Shield. I've been pretty happy with it. I'm about 6'1", and they say you're supposed to look over it. I guess that's just not what I'm used to. As far as like these fairings go, I really think the fairings on the other bikes were a little taller. That's why this throws me off. As far as the windshield goes, like if I put it down, I got a whole bunch of, obviously I put it down, I get a whole bunch of buffeting. But a lot of these places that say that they got the reeve curve, a lot of these places that say they got the reeve curve shield, they said you're supposed to look over it, not through it and stuff. And where I'm sitting at right now, I would like to put it down a little more, but then buffeting becomes a problem. So I wonder if it had more of an aggressive lip, if that would help matters. But no, I mean, compared, I did a 5-hour trip one way with the stock windshield, and even putting on the 12-inch Freedom Shields when I had it, that was such a world of difference. So I still got that long ride shield I gotta test out. I don't know if I really want to go through the pain of swapping it out, just to, swap this one out, put the long rides on, swap that out, put this one on, and start running the risk of cracking the windshield in the mount points. I think on my cross country I did have a Gustafson shield, pretty much what Jack Lemmon's character's last name was off of Grumpy Old Men movies. And that one, it was a nice shield, but I mean, I didn't sit there and you know, squeeze, you know, tighten up the bolts as hard as I could, and that shield's still cracked. So this one seems like it's doing all right. I guess the one problem is I got to go get some of that reclaimer. I must have been in a hurry. I gotta get some of that refinish or reclaim or whatever it's called. I got all these fine scratches on it. Which, like, if it's in the shadows, you really can't see them, but when you're right in direct sunlight, oh, look, it's ugly as sin. I'm saying Route 4 is just a really nice, like if it was like 80 degrees outside or even 91, it'd be awesome. Oh, look at that. Hey, somebody's got some balls. Let's add about 7 miles. We're going to hit 6,000 miles. Yeah, because I bought this bike with no miles back in March, and now we're getting close to 6,000. Bunch of fields. And that's what always killed me, like riding around Arkansas. When you start going up the hills, and it's just like, you know, in Illinois, like we're flat. You know, everything's real flat here. And then you go out to, yeah, you go someplace like Arkansas. I've been there twice for a trip, and I found with this bike, it has enough power that I'm not shifting constantly going up and down the hills, because that's what I hit it on when I had my Victory and we went on a trip out there. Was you're going up and down these inclines, all it is, these inclines and declines and steep grades, and all I was doing, I was shifting, and it's like this kind of sucks. You know, I don't mind shifting, but not constantly. So, you know, a Challenger, it's got a little more get up and go, or just more raw power to handle that. I do wonder, I know at Lloyd's they're coming out with their cams and everybody's busting a nut over it. I wonder if you had Victory cam or Indian cams and then cracked the ECU, how much more power you would get. Because to me, it's kind of like the speakers and stuff. Everything is so proprietary that I just can't, you know, I can't run to Best Buy and put kickers or Polks or whatever Rockford Fosgate speakers in. Indian, and I don't know about Harley and stuff, but Indian, they got pretty smart and taking taking a page out of the Harley playbook, how to keep getting, you know, their customers coming back to buy accessories. Because these speakers, I mean, they do sound great for what they are. I bought them used. They're the 100 watt ones, 100 watt. I use that term loosely. And I mean, they do sound better than the stock. But, you know, there is a guy on on one of the groups on Indian Challenger groups on Facebook, where he can make a plug and play kit, and I'm sure it's a great kit. I mean, you get what you pay for, and that's all I'm gonna say. You know, I don't mean that in a bad way or good way. I'm just saying, like, if you want custom speakers in your Challenger, oh, it can be done, but you're gonna pay for it. And I don't know, you know, with my Victor, I learned a lot about the little rinky-dink stuff on bikes, as far as you know, like when me and my brother, when we would we swapped out, you know, put the Rockford Fosgate 300x4 amp in it, and then put the Polks in, and I had 6x9s in my lids. And the way this bike is, just because mine's limited, so it came with the 6.5-inch 50-watt speakers. Pretty much what this bike is off the showroom floor is about the same thing I'd be able to do if I was going to do it all myself, if that makes any sense. What I mean by that is, like, all that time and energy, you know, messing with the Victory's sound system, and I was constantly blowing my 6.5-inch speakers in the front. I mean, yeah, it sounded great and everything was fine, but the way this bike is, just off the showroom floor, the sound system sounds the same as something I could do. So that's kind of where I'm at. You know what? Screw messing with these wiring harness. Screw trying to make these speaker connectors hook up to a regular speaker. Maybe it's just because I'm getting older. I am completely happy with just the plug and play stuff. And with Indian, they are going to be having the 5 1/4 speakers are going to be able for the hard lowers, which should come out sometime before my youngest gets out of college. He's 10 right now. So, you know, it's somebody I did meet. They had the Sqaureback speakers before I got them, and I was asking about them, and they were just, you know, they said like they weren't good, they weren't bad, they were just kind of like okay, and I didn't understand that. And honestly, like, I really, unless I'm just cruising through town, you can hear them, and they are pointed at me, but on the interstate, most of it's just this, so the 2 ones in the front. So if I had 4 speakers in the front, you would think that sounded like a mini concert hall here. No, with Polaris, it seems like what they did, they took notes about everything that was great about the Victories. The only Victory I had was a cross country, and I fucking loved it. I love that bike. Damn, I love that bike. Got a lot of good memories on that bike. And they just, you know, they made it better and stuff. And I can't tell you, you know, you really can't stop anywhere without somebody coming up and giving you a compliment. That's not a bad thing, you know, compliment about your bike. But since I've gotten back into motorcycling, I've been having great conversations with complete strangers about our bikes. And no, I mean, this bike, it does turn heads and stuff, and that's what I'm saying. I think I was talking about that in the last video, you know, comparing like a Mustang GT to like an F-150. It's like, yeah, the Mustang's faster and stuff, but you can do so much more with the F-150, and that's kind of the way I feel with sport bikes compared to baggers and stuff. It's like, yeah, I'd get my ass handed to me by a Ninja or a Gixxer or R1, R6, but this bike's not built to compete with those. It's built for long distance comfort. I can haul shit. You know, I got my creature comforts. So yeah, don't get me wrong, it's quick when it wants to be. Let's see if I get to straightaway. I'm saying, like, right now I'm going 60 and I'm in, yeah, no, I'm going 55 and I'm in 6th gear, and just I know on one of the videos people were saying that you know, they're like, oh, my Road Glide can do the same or whatever. I mean, that's great. But for me personally, coming from the other bikes, like if I was going to do that, I could still do it on your bikes, but I would have had to downshift to have the same kind of acceleration that this one has in the top gear. So no, this, I mean, knock on wood, I have not had any problems with my engine or the bike. There might have been like growing, you know, I don't call it growing pains, but you know, it just, I haven't really had any bugs other than with the bike. Surprisingly, I mean, just for being fuel injected, I had a Coleman mini bike and that was carbureted, and I think that started up better in colder weather than this big boy does. What river is this? Kaskaskia River. Yeah, this is neat. It's neat. That's neat. Fayetteville. Yeah, so as far as the Mustang seat, let's see, yeah, I forgot to reset it and stuff. I'm gonna say I just got probably 400 miles on the seat, and I got the Sqaureback seat. As far as comfort goes, it's a lot more comfortable than the stock seat by a wide margin. All right, I think that's with the stock seat. After about 40 minutes, that's how they were breaking prisoners at Guantanamo Bay to get information out of them, but have them sit on a stock seat. Now with this seat, I've probably been, let's say I've been riding for about 3 hours now, 2-3 hours, and I'm not I'm not uncomfortable. I do notice that by my tailbone, it will start getting it'll get numb. Like it's not, it doesn't hurt. Like all I gotta do is just shift around a little bit, and then I'm fine. But I don't know. It's like I can get off the bike, or walk around for a little bit, and my ass isn't sore, and then I can sit back on it, and it doesn't have. It's not like the stock seat where it's like the second your ass starts hurting, it's done. Okay, you may as well just like work your way home, because no matter how long you got off the bike and went to go walk around on a stock seat, you get back on it, and 5 minutes later your ass is hurting again, you know. So with this Mustang seat, I mean, it looks amazing, and I paid about $450, $470 with tax, or tax and shipping. And I think for the price of what it is, I mean, I think it's great. The other seat, we did have gel put into it, and it maybe gave you another 15 minutes, but it was still horrible. It was just something about, I don't know, the design. It was just a bad seat for long trips. And I was really torn between the Diamondback and the wide touring seat, but I feel like I do sit the same. I still like sit the same, like distance wise, that I did on the stock seat and stuff. But as far as the material and quality, I think it's a lot better. Like I said, like now when I get uncomfortable, I just shift a little bit, and I'm good for a little while. And with the stock seat, no matter how much you started squirming, yeah, once you started getting your ass started hurting, I mean, that was it. You know, you can't do anything about it. So yeah, definitely check out the Mustang. I know a lot of people are getting Saddlemen seats. I thought they were a good-looking seat, like you always see them on Dynas, but on the forum, people were always you could, you know, on a forum, like every other post, people selling like a used road sofa, and those seats were going for like $500 to $600 depending. So I don't know if Mustang, if they, I'm not endorsed by them, like I said, if they want to send me a shirt, feel free. I have no shame. We're always looking for a sponsor for the videos. But nice little curves. But no, like the Mustang seat, it's really, I love it. You know, I always wanted to get a day tripper, like when I had my I don't know if they made one for this. I had a Striker. I don't know if they made one for the Striker. I know they made one for the Raider, and then they made one for the cross country. And I was always dying to get one for my cross country. I just never got around to it. But you know, 9 times out of 10, it's just me on the bike anyway. So I will say, the passenger area on this seat, you can tell there's more padding on it, because my girlfriend, she went with me on that 5-hour trip, and you know, it was the same thing. They put Jill in the back of the seat, and then both of us were just like, we couldn't stomach it after about 2 hours. Like we couldn't even look at the bike. We were so disgusted. So, but no, just, you know, it's a nice little leisurely ride. Just want to talk about the seat. I don't think anyone's really done any videos about it or talked about it, but I've been happy with the seat. If you're just looking for a simple upgrade, you cannot go wrong. Now the tuck and roll seat, I think all the Mustang seats look great. As far as you know, if you're vain like me and you want your bike to look the best, I mean, yeah, the wide touring might kill the looks. I was curious about the tuck and roll seat because I like the style of it. It gives it kind of that 70s. To me, that's what this seat reminds me of, like something from like a 70s chopper, you know, with the diamond stitching and stuff. But you know, for the most part, it's not a bad seat. But no, really, thanks for checking out the video. Listen to me ramble. I guess it does make me feel better. Hey, don't forget to hit that like, share, subscribe button to help out the channel. I'm just trying to grow it, and hopefully we can give you guys some better videos in the future. So stay safe.